Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome once again in this conversation in which we were discussing about in the previous conversation we discussed about the qualities of Sri Rama, and yesterday we were moving towards the life of Sri Rama after he completes his education in Gurukul and after he gets married, and now he has come to his kingdom after studies and now after marriage, and now Dasharatha, his father, is on the verge to make him the king of his kingdom. And that time, his mother, Kaikeyi, she asked Dasharatha, for the boons that he said to ask him whenever she required them. And in the boons, she asked him to give the throne to his own son Bharata and send Rama to 14 years in exile in forest. So this is how this story goes on, and what is the type of this story, how this everything unfolds itself. So it's not mentioned in this chapter, and as we move on to forward chapters, we would study this entire thing in a amplified manner. So now here, in a very short form, in a very short way, what happened to Rama's life after he was expelled, after he was sentenced sort of 14-year exile in forest, we study here. And it is said that when once upon a time Dasharatha was fighting a war against demons, and there his wife Kaikeyi was also present there, and she helped him so much that he won the war. And after he understood and recognized and was said by people that if it was not for Kaikeyi, he wouldn't have won the battle, then he asks her to ask for any type of boon. And then she says that, well, I don't require anything now, and if any time I require something, I'd ask you to give me this boon. So actually, when Rama was declared to be the coming king of Ayodhya, she was very happy. She was the happiest person because she liked and loved Rama in a very well manner. But it was another person who instigated her, who derailed her by saying ugly things, and that's how that person brainwashed her, and she turned from a very loving mother to a very hating mother towards Rama. And that person was Mantra, and she just instigated Kaikeyi, and by presenting different types of rumors and other things, she just brainwashed her mind and just compelled Kaikeyi in asking these boons, in which she asked that let Bharata be the king of the kingdom and Rama be sent to 14 years of exile. And that's how Dasharatha, who was bound by the fetters of Dharma, he ordered Rama to go to forest, and Rama, who is a very good son, who is always following the orders of his father, to maintain the orders of his father, he accepts that, okay, I'd go to forest for exile, and I'd never ascend this throne until I have passed my 14 years of exile. So this was the story, how it unfolded. And here we see one thing, that negative things attack us very precisely. As I said before, Rama's mother, Kaikeyi, was very loving mother who liked Rama, who appreciated Rama more than her own son Bharata. But these negative things, whenever anyone present us some negative aspect of someone's life, we are very moved by those things. And we cannot say that we are equally moved by a person's positivity if anyone presents us in front of us, of the person. So it's a tendency of human nature, it's a propensity of human nature that we always move towards negative things, and that's how it is presented in this scripture, that one negative thing can turn the wave of the entire life, can change the aspect of entire life, can change the entire meaning of someone's life. So whatever we see, the destruction that happened after Rama went to exile, his father Dasharatha died just remembering Sri Rama, and his brother Bharata, he too accepted a life exile, sort of, without living in the kingdom. He lived in somewhere else place and ruled the kingdom, and entire family just shattered away. The family which harbored so much love, so much affection, so much happiness in itself, just by the negativity of one person, the entire family was just shattered, just like rubbles. So this is the thing, this is scripture, this entire scripture, every word of this scripture always teaches us something, always gives us a message. And now here is the greatest message, that any sort of negativity, before planting, before germinating any sort of negativity towards anyone, we should once move into ourselves and think, is it really the truest thing that I'm doing? So never fall into negativity for anyone. This is the true thing that the scripture is saying. And great people say that, why do great people say that live in your present? Why do they say this? They only say this because they want us to tend our lives into watching the person how he is in present time. We often meet the people the way we believe they were before. Suppose a person was a bad person in his earlier life and now he's a good person, and if he ever comes to us after completing all those years of any sort of work, just gallivanting here and there, and now if it comes to us, we would meet him the same way we met him before. We would feel the same emotions towards him the way we felt before, when he was a careless person. So this is the irony of human nature, and that's why great people say that you live in the present, you live in your present time, you watch the things the way they are in present time. And that's how when we behave with a person the way he is now, we'll be able to illustrate, to give a better example to this community, to the society. And why for the society? This is the nature, this is the basic requirement of human life. When we are living in our present time, when we are behaving with every person in a good manner, in a well manner, then only would be able to set a good example in the society through our lives. And even there were a great monk, there were a great teacher, religious teacher, who said that I only keep the good points of anyone in my heart. Why should I keep the bad points of anyone in my heart? My heart is not a trash can. I can't keep any bad works, any bad qualities of anyone. I cannot remember, neither could I recall any bad qualities of anyone in my heart. This heart is a sacred place. This heart is a pure place. And only good things have the qualification, have the proof. Only good qualities have the power to reside, to live in my heart. That's how we would be able to create a better environment in ourselves. And that's why this point is given here, is presented here. That when one negativity about anyone, about any circumstance about any situation arises in our mind, in our existence, in our body, then every good thing can be shattered away. The entire kingdom, one day prior to Rama's going to forest, every person in the kingdom, every people, every relative of Rama in the king's palace, everyone was full of joy. And I'm comforted that we are getting a great king. We are getting Rama as our king. He's a great person, and now we'd be living a happy life. We were living a happy life under the reign of Dasharatha, and now their son Rama would be ruling us, would be ruling the country in an efficient manner, and we would enjoy our lives under the shade of a great king, of an able king. And it just one day, just moments in moments, this entire thing was just was broken down only because of the negativity of one person. And that one person, the negativity of one person just shattered down the entire family. So we should never harbor any type of bad feelings towards anyone, towards any person, towards any situation. And we should be strong enough in ourselves that no person instigates us, no person ever tries to coax us into doing any type of bad activities. Only due to this work that KK performed of sending Rama to exile out of hatred, out of enviousness, this one thing just made this disgruntled, this one thing degraded the character, her face, the character of KK in this scripture. So whenever someone coaxes us, someone makes us do anything by enticing us for anything else, we should always take care that the work that we are doing, the history, the upcoming people, the posterity will always remember us, will always feel that we are the main people who did this. Never it remembers who instigated us, who coaxed us, who gave us enticement, or who just did anything to us. We are the people who did anything in our lives, and this is how we are the responsible people of whatever we do. So always be careful for whatever decisions that you take in your lives, because your decisions change the track of your life. Your decisions change the track of this era. One decision, one powerful person, when he makes a decision, that could be the decision of this era. So the more powerful we are, the more greater in status we are, the more responsibility we should carry as to uplifting this environment, as to helping and serving this community. And this is how this thing is presented here. And now the story goes on, and the sage is saying Vivasanam cha Ramasya Bharatasya Abhishechanam. So his mother, Bharata's mother, KK, asked King Dasharatha to send Rama to exile for 14 years and make Bharata king instead of Rama. And next verse is like this: Sa Satyavachanad Raja Dharma Pashana Sanyataha. That King Dasharatha who was tethered by the shackles, by the fetters, by the irons of Dharma. He couldn't ignore it, he couldn't neglect that giving her those boons, and so he accepted her whatever she asked him, and this is how he sends Rama to exile. Vivasayamasa Sutam Ramam Dasharatha Priyam. The son who was so much nearer to Dasharatha, Sri Rama, who was the purpose of Sri Dasharatha, who was his entire life sort of. Sons are the lives of their parents, of their fathers and mothers. So whenever any bad thing occurs to anyone's offsprings, he or she couldn't live his life in a well manner, in a happy manner. So now this sorrow, he feels like this sorrow, this immense sorrow, for 14 years, this sorrow is gonna fall on my son. So he is so much sad about himself that my son, due to my orders, my son is going away from me, and I cannot do anything to prevent him from going away from me, from myself. So he is sort of so much unhappy for Sri Rama, and he feels himself the root cause, and he feels himself so much sort of bad person, bad father, that a father who sent his son to exile to live in forest instead of living in this vast kingdom full of pleasures and comforts. So this is how the story goes on. And next line, the sage is describing that to keep the orders of his father and to make his mother happy, Sri Rama accepts to go to forest, and along with Sri Rama, his brother, his younger brother Lakshmana also just comes up and says that I also go with my brother to serve him. I cannot live, I cannot think of myself without my brother. So the younger brother of Sri Rama, Lakshmana, also just packs himself to go to forest, and along with them, Sri Rama's wife, Sita, also just comes up and she says that I'd also go to forest along with Sri Rama. And this is how all three of them go to forest, and it is said that to keep the orders of his father and to make his mother happy. So here we see that in all possible circumstances, in all available circumstances, whatever the situations are in front of us, in front of Sri Rama, he never falls shorter in following the orders of his parents, in following the orders of elder people, whatever they say, whatever the way of the order is. And from here, we get this knowledge that whenever any sort of thing that appears in our lives from our parents, from our elder ones, whether we like them or not, anyway, they're gonna help us in future. From here, we see that this entire scripture, this entire Ramayana that we are studying today, it was only because Sri Rama was sent to forest. Because we don't pray to Rama, we don't supplicate in front of Rama because he was the king of a kingdom. He was an uplifted person, he was an awakened person. He did everything that a godly creature, that a godly entity does on this planet. He lived a life of austerity, he lived a life of penance, and not just say of austerity and penance, he lived a complete life. And how this completeness could be understood, he demolished all his demonic powers, he demolished all the malevolent powers, he demolished all the ill powers that were pervading in those times. And one person cannot be able to eradicate all those great powers. Ravana was very powerful, this entire kingdom was very powerful. He has powerful warriors, his sons, his everything, they were just powerful warriors. And how could a person, two people, defeat this entire army? So he had the power of truth, he had the power of penance, he had the power of austerity, he had the power of well-being, he had the power of his purity. So this, here we get this thing. And whatever we see in Sri Rama's life, a major part of his life is always attributed, whatever we feel towards Rama today, the main cause of whatever we feel about him today is attributed to his life in forest. what he did, how they lived their life, how they demolished all sorts of ill powers that were pervading in the surrounding at that time. So I was telling you that whatever our elders set for us, we should never feel that anything is inferior, whatever our parents do for us. So to make his mother happy and to follow the orders of his father, so that his father's order don't go in vain, and when the people see that a king's own relative, the king's own sons are not following his orders. When Rama was said that you have to go into exile, many people in the kingdom, many people said that you should not go. You are an able person. You are capable of running this entire kingdom. But to keep the orders, to keep the strength of the order of his father, Sri Rama went to forest to set an example that a king's word should be followed at any cost. And had it not followed his father's orders, he would still have been the king. He would still have been the best kings. All the people would have regarded him. All the people would have appreciated him the same way as they did before, as they did after 14 years. But only to make people understand, only to set an example that when I, being the son, being the eldest son of this family, being a prince of this entire kingdom, I'm following every rough and tough orders of the king, then you people should also follow the rules and regulations set by this king. To set an example that orders of king must be followed at any manner, at any rate. From here we get this knowledge that wherever we live, whether it be our homes, whether it be our schools, whether it be our colleges, universities, institutions, wherever we live, we should always abide by the laws, rules, regulations, tenets of the greater people that is set in our institutions, that is set in our schools, in our colleges, in our universities, wherever we live. So from here, we see, from Sri Rama's life, we get this knowledge, we get this teaching that whatever our elders set for us, whatever rules and regulations our elders feel is better for us to follow, we should always follow them. And Sri Rama's life is an example. He is an exemplar for all of us. That's why he is worth reading. His life is worth reading. His entire work, his entire existence just fills us with purity, with sacred abilities. So here it said, Pitur Vachana Nirdeshat Kaikeya Priyakaranat. So to follow the orders of his father and to give her mother the happiness that she wanted. Sri Rama goes to forest, and along with him his brother and Masita also go to forest. And in forest, what happens, and in the next verses, we would understand, we would learn about the qualities of Masita. Because look, this entire society, this entire community, if said who has the greater power, then women have the greater power. I discussed it in previous classes that everything we are standing here, someone gave us birth, someone raised us up. So every person, whenever it comes to the person who has greater power of patience, power of hard working, power of taking care of everyone, power of serving this community, then women come in the first place. So Masita is the epitome, is the culmination sort of. She is the fruition of all those good qualities that could be present in a woman. So she is an example for all women present in this planet. And we will discuss their character in our next class. And today, as we studied, as we learned that our lives to turn like Sri Rama's life, following the orders, the good orders of our elders, and abiding by the laws, whatever is set by our greater people, by greater persons in our community. And that's how, when we are good people, when we follow good orders, when we abide our life through good laws, then we and this entire society, this entire community could inevitably become a better place for everyone, for every creature on this planet. Thank you.